You are listening to the Profitable Content Creator Podcast. This is the place where content creators come to learn how to create profitable content that positions themselves as an authority and grows their online businesses. Get ready to take your content to a whole new level with your host, Kristen Poborski.
I am excited to be back with my content updating series. Today, we're going to talk about the power of the refresh and why updating your old content on your website can really help with your SEO. And I am going to talk about this from the AI perspective because I've been doing this for years, updating my old content, which used to be a huge headache, but now with AI, it is easier than possible. So if you've got great content that isn't getting traffic like it used to, or maybe you've got content sitting in your archives there that never really got good traffic, well, I am here to help you, and you're not alone. Most content creators have this same problem, and the key to getting that traffic back or to increasing it is to get things rejuvenating, fixing it up, spiffing it up, making it longer, doing a bunch of things that I'm going to talk to you today about will really help you with your SEO on your content. And this is a game changer looking for anybody who is looking to enhance their online visibility. So whether you're a content creator, a coach, or a course creator, or a blogger just seeking to revitalize your old content, I've got you covered today, and I'm going to talk to you about how easy it is and how this all works with AI. So let's talk a little bit about SEO, because this is really about how revitalizing your old content, spiffing it up, can help with your SEO. So the search engines all favor new content. They love it. And the thing is, you can bring your old content back and let the search engines know that it's brand new content by doing a few updates. So updating it can definitely boost old content or the traffic to it, or bring back old traffic. For example, I had a blog post on website silos, and it was a great post for many, many years, but all of a sudden it started to drop off in its popularity. Well, that's because new content overtook my older content that I hadn't updated, and it started falling in the search engine rankings. And then some of my content, or some of my traffic actually also started to fall as well. So if your stuff was like way up there and you haven't updated it, way up there, and I mean in the search engine rankings, you're going to want to update it, because it's going to tell Google that it is new content, and it will go and start searching through it. And there's plenty of things that you can go and do to your content to make it even better than before. And we're going to dive into that in a little bit here. But again, your older content probably is already attracting traffic, but by updating it, you can improve the user experience, and you can do all kinds of things. So let's take an example here. So in my case, I now have ChatGPT and AI. I've been doing content creation for clients and teaching it since 2012. And now with AI, there is a whole new thing to talk about. So there could be something in your content, or maybe the way you think and do things is different than it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I have clients like this too, who now approach their coaching and how they help their clients in a different way. So we can take a new perspective and infuse that into our content. So what I do is I go back to my old content that I know is really good stuff. A good example was I had something about repurposing content. And I started updating all of that. And then now I'm morphing off into a whole brand new series. But the way I used to update content was, the hard way, not with AI. So that gave me a whole new perspective that I could infuse into a lot of my older content and create more content around this topic. So I'm sure that there's probably something in your file drawer, our content archives, that you could go back and say, yeah, this is a really good piece of content. And how I would do that is to hop on over to Google Analytics and see what's performing really well or was performing really well 6 months ago and is maybe a little bit older, and you've seen the traffic drop off. Perfect timing to update it. So let's talk about some of the key strategies that you should be using when you are updating your older content. So one thing could be look and see what keywords you have in there. You might want to do a little keyword research and make a list of those. Then when you go to use ChatGPT, you could tell it, please rewrite this content and optimize it for these keywords. That is a very smart thing to do. I love doing that in my older content because there could be new things. And specifically, since I'm changing my content from more just content to content with ChatGPT and AI, there's a whole new world of keywords that I can explore and capitalize on right now in my content. Another thing is to go and research, and you can use ChatGPT for that to add in recent data, statistics, and relevant information to beef up your content and make it better. I would do that. Next thing is you always want to improve the readability and structure of your content. So there's a few tips, and you might want to write these down right now, that you want to do. You want to keep your paragraphs super short. You want to use bullets, and you want to use bolding where necessary to bring out points that you want people to pay attention to. But when you start doing it that way, you will make your content easier to scan. Now, another big one is adding in storytelling into your content. If you've got stories that you want to add into your content, you can tell ChatGPT, you can tell it the story and have it rewrite the piece of content and bring in your story into your content. It's as easy as that. So then another things would be if you're updating and you want to get your SEO right, it's so easy now to perform SEO on your content using ChatGPT. What used to take 10 minutes takes less than 3 minutes, especially when you know what your what your keywords are, and you make sure that you ask it to rewrite your content using that keyword. You ask it to write, this is ChatGPT I'm talking about. You ask it to write the meta description, and you also ask it to possibly write a brand new title that is keyword optimized. So when you do that, that will really help. Another thing, and this is why I'm doing a series, I want to include internal links to newer content on my site. So as I publish these pieces of content that I'm doing now about repurposing, I'm going to be adding internal links. Now, if you've got the Yoast SEO plugin for your WordPress, that's a great way to do it. Or you can go into your blog archives and see what other pieces you have in that content category that you could link to. So that would be a smart thing to do. So that's it. That's pretty much what I have for you today around refreshing your old content and how it's going to help your SEO. I've got some commonly asked questions I'm going to dive into next, so you want to stick around and listen to those. But I wanted to let you know that it isn't just about making things new and shiny. It's a powerful strategy that you can use to get those search engine rankings up and get noticed organically by a wider audience. And remember, everything is always changing, and you want to keep your content up to date, and that is critical for staying ahead. Now, we're going to dive into how often you should do it in those questions in a few minutes, but if you need help doing this, I've got a brand new guide, Update Your Content the Fast and Easy Way with ChatGPT, including some great prompts to help you get started on the right foot, and that is right down in the notes. So let's dive into some of the commonly asked questions about updating content. So the first question that people ask is, what does updating old content involve? Well, it really involves going through your older articles and making them more relevant and current. And this could be not just blog posts. This could be your regular pages on your website. Yes, those need to be updated as well. And it can be adding in, as I said before, statistics, information, improving your readability, incorporating new keywords. And one thing I didn't really mention before is creating a video. If you don't have video in your content these days, you're missing out. You definitely need to include a video in there, update your graphics so that they're more new and modern. I don't know about you, but my older graphics on some of my older content, they're pretty old because I've been doing this since 2012. So images that I created back then need to be updated and modernized for today's audience. So those are some things that you can do. So let's dive into the next question. And people really want to know, why is it important for SEO? So search engines always like fresh content, relevant content, and by updating your old content. And one thing I do is I republish it with a new date and things like that. You're going to send those signals to Google, the search engines, that your website is active and providing current content and information. And this can improve your site's ranking in the search engines for certain keywords because they want to go and deliver the most useful and up-to-date information to anybody who is searching. So that's why it's important for SEO, because you're sending those signals out that I've got new stuff here, and those little bots are going to be crawling your site and pushing more traffic to you. So the next question is, why is it important? Well, not that, because I already covered that. How often should I update my website's content? Well, really, you know what? It's kind of dependent on what you're doing in your business and how long you've been creating content. So I've got some content that's still really relevant, and it's like 3 or 4 years old. But what good rule of the thumb is to review and update your content, your most important and high traffic pages, at least once a year. So if you've got those earmarked, I would just keep them on a spreadsheet and go in and once a year update those pages, like even major blog pages or your homepage or things like that. I would totally do that. Now, if your industry or niche is changing, or you're changing what you're doing, you may need to do it more often than that. But right now, I'd say once a year is sufficient. So the next question people ask is, can updating my old content boost traffic? And the answer is absolutely. It can boost your traffic to your website, but especially when you focus on creating more quality content and the relevance of it. Like I'm updating everything for AI. It's things people need help with. You are more likely, when you do things like that, to rank higher in search engine. Key really is to make your content really quality by adding in storytelling, making it first person, doing things like adding in videos, new images, and adding in storytelling, and really making your content more interesting and relevant to your audience. Once your audience likes it better, then that's going to send signals to Google that this is really good content. So you're going to do things like that. It will, if you have a video, it actually gets people to stay longer on your page and will also boost your search engine rankings, things like that. So those are some things that I can leave you with today about updating your content and how it can skyrocket your SEO. And now with AI, it is easier than ever. So if you need help with that, grab my guide right below where I walk you through how to update your content using AI, because it's simpler and easier now more than ever to do this. And I've got some great prompts to help you get started right inside. So I'll see you later, and I look forward to coming back and giving you more AI content creation tips.
You've been listening to the Profitable Content Creator Podcast, where content creators go to learn how to take their content creation to the next level. If you love the Profitable Content Creator Podcast, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give us a review on iTunes. Until next time.